Hey, everybody. In this video, I will guide you through the information that should be written in your resume. You have probably thought about what sections to add to your resume. There is obvious information that is definitely needed: first and last name, contact details, work history, and skills. In general, the end result is still highly dependent on the structure of the document and such details as, for example, do you need to fill in the purpose section in your resume in your case? How to show your real achievements in a resume. Moments like these are not to be missed. What does a resume consist of? You need to specify who you are, your contacts, and clearly describe your profitable professional and personal qualities. For this, there are sections that should definitely be in the resume: contact information, work experience, skills, education. This is the most basic information. You can add additional ones, such as a section with a goal, certificates and licenses, awards and achievements, internships and volunteer activities, various studies, etc. Contact information. The first thing you need to write about yourself is your first and last name, phone number, and email address. Here is an example of what contact information might look like: name, surname, phone number, email, link to LinkedIn. Optionally, you can add a nickname in Skype or other messengers through which you can be contacted. We advise you to initially create an email and an account in instant messengers for work issues. Also, note an important point: you are not required to provide a phone number, but it is highly desirable, as having one makes it much easier for the recruiter to contact you. If you are applying for a vacancy in another city, you can indicate the city of your residence. You can also add links to various resources in your contact information that can help you build a more complete professional profile. These can be links to sites where your portfolio is, Dribbble, Behance, or a link to an account in a professional work network. LinkedIn. Desired position and information about yourself. If you were looking for examples of ready-made resume templates or try to use online designers to create this document, you probably saw that in the resume header there are blocks: desired position, headline, as well as about me, summary. It is better to always indicate the desired position and even highlight it among the rest of the text. So, the reader will instantly be able to understand which of the vacancies this resume is intended for. Therefore, if you yourself send your resume to employers, we recommend that you match the desired position with the specific vacancy, if possible. The About Me, or Summary, section consists of several sentences in which you should clearly outline your main strengths and shed light on your key skills and experience. This will give a great impression of the value you are going to offer to the employer. Also, it will distinguish you from other applicants who are too lazy to write a resume correctly. Do not copy phrases from other sources. In most cases, they are very ordinary for an experienced recruiter, and your resume should consist of clear facts about yourself and be unique. Work experience. Your work experience is the heart of your resume. The task of the resume is to make the recruiter and the employer want to invite you for an interview, and most importantly, to make them want to work with you. And the first thing they want to know about you is your work experience and, accordingly, what you learned there and what you can do now. To make it easier for them, put information about work experience in the first half of the document. How you style the experience section is just as important. It is always a pleasure to read a document or text if it is structured and logical, as well as readable. You can be super professional, but a poorly designed resume can just turn a recruiter off and it won't get considered at all. To successfully design a section about work experience, you need: if you have worked in several companies, we advise you to write about each company separately, in reverse chronological order. That is, from the last place of work to the very first. Each job site must contain the following information: describe the important tasks you performed there, your achievements, the experience you have gained while working. Skills. It makes no sense to list in one line all the skills that you have heard or that you think you have. In the section about work experience, you show where you got and used them, and in this block you indicate your real skills that will definitely come in handy in a new job. That is, it means that, at the top of the list, you should write your strongest and most relevant skills that will be relevant in your new job. Below we have compiled a short list of professional skills for you to see how they can be described in your resume. Stress resistance and ability to work with short deadlines and deadlines. High level of time management when working in a large team and independently. Communication skills and the ability to communicate with bloggers and opinion leaders. Customer focus and ability to interact with different audiences of users. Almost all vacancies write a list of requirements for the ideal candidate. Read them carefully and think about what your skills will really be useful and interesting for a future employer. Education. It is also important to write about your education. In this section, you need to tell about your qualifications, as well as about your achievements during your studies at the university or graduate school, if you have any. As with work experience, follow reverse chronological order to describe all achievements and places of study. We have compiled a short list of what you can write about in this section. Write the name of the institution of higher education that you graduated from or are still studying. Specify the period of study. Specify your specialty. Tell about your achievements during your studies, scientific research, awards, etc. Subscribe to the channel and find out useful information about business every day. Languages. It may seem that the section Languages is not worth special attention, but this is definitely something that will interest the employer if you need to know several languages to do the job. And even if this is not necessary for a future job, knowledge of languages will make the resume more attractive. Here's what you need to know if you decide to add a language section to your CV. Put information about languages in a separate section in your resume. Place it after information about work experience, all skills, and education. Use the same structure for all languages and indicate their level of proficiency. Start your list with the languages you are most fluent in. Be sure to indicate the actual level of language proficiency. Extra skills. If you have technical skills and they will definitely be useful in your future job, be sure to describe them in your resume. Here you can write about your experience with some technically complex program or other tools, depending on your profession. It is unlikely that you will surprise someone if you write that you are a confident PC or PowerPoint user. But if such skills are indicated in the vacancy as the main requirements for the candidate, then yes, they are worth mentioning. Here is an example of what you can write about in this section using the example of a content manager resume. Use of spreadsheets and word processing programs, Excel, MS Word, Notepad++, Adobe Brackets, Impress. Confidently working with WordPress, WooCommerce, Joomla to create websites. Extensive experience in SMM management using Sprout Social, Buffer Reply, Brand24. Internships. Information about internships is useful for those who have no work experience or are just at the beginning of their career path. If the internship was in a profession that is relevant to the job you are interested in, then this information may be useful for a future employer. Well, if you interned at Google, then you don't need to think here. Just write this information in your resume as soon as possible. If the experience gained in the internships is not relevant to the position you have chosen, you cannot waste time and do not write it. Such information is not useful to the recruiter, which means it will take up space in the resume in vain. Certificates and awards. If you have awards, certificates, and licenses that confirm your professionalism, experience, and value for a future employer, be sure to write about them in your resume. Under no circumstances should this information be hidden. Volunteering. Volunteering may characterize you as a person with good organizational and communication skills. In addition, such information can perfectly demonstrate your employment in your free time. Some volunteer activity is closely related to professional activities. Therefore, it will serve as an excellent addition to the skills and work experience in the resume. We advise: write relevant and truthful information. Stick to the structure, name of the organization, dates of your activity, position, and results. To sum up, there are certain items that should definitely be on your resume. The most necessary information is your contact details, desired position, work experience, skills, and education. The rest of the information is not required, but it will be a plus if such information emphasizes your professionalism. Additional information may consist of certificates and awards, a list of internships and volunteer activities. Also, in the resume, you can write your goal regarding the vacancy of interest and the desired salary level. Resume writing is a process that needs to be taken seriously. Sometimes this can take longer than expected, because you need to think about how to describe yourself in a profitable way and structure the information in the document. Thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned to watch our next videos and become a finance expert.